Have you noticed that there are places where your soul seems to breathe better? Places where silence speaks, the wind carries messages, and every detail of creation seems to have been designed so that you feel closer to God? For the chosen, these spaces aren't just pretty or tranquil. They are spiritual portals, meeting points where heaven and earth touch in a nearly tangible way. I'm not talking about grand temples or formal ceremonies. I'm talking about simple places, often overlooked by the world's rush. But for a chosen one, they become true altars. In these environments, there's no need to force words or follow a prayer script. God's presence manifests so naturally that you realize the Creator doesn't need grand settings to speak to those He loves. These places have something in common. They move you away from noise and bring you closer to your essence. There, the mind slows, the heart opens, and answers begin to surface effortlessly. It's as if every element of nature, every shadow, every sound, has been carefully positioned to create a space of revelation. The chosen one feels this immediately. It's like recognizing a familiar hug, even when you are alone. And today, I want to take you to 5 of these places that, for many chosen ones, are the favorites to hear God's voice. Let's explore together what makes each of them so special, and why they transform not only the environment, but also who you become after passing through them. I'm George, and if you feel this message is for you, subscribe to the channel. Here, we speak of truths that strengthen your journey and reveal what many still don't see. The deserted beach. The silent encounter with the Creator. The deserted beach, for the chosen, goes far beyond a postcard. It is a space where the heart meets God without distractions. There are no vendors offering products, music competing for attention, or hurried steps of crowds. Only the sound of the waves, the touch of the wind, and the distinctive smell of the sea. This environment seems to converse with the soul. The constant sound of the water, soft yet firm, creates an atmosphere that calms agitated thoughts. It is as if each wave that touches the sand carries away the accumulated worries, opening space for a peace that can only come from above. Walking alone along the sand is to feel each step as a silent prayer. The repeated movement of the feet, sinking and rising again, accompanies the rhythm of the breath. In this moment, there is no rush. Time loses importance, and the heart aligns with the voice that speaks within. The horizon, with its infinite line, is a constant reminder that God is greater than any challenge. Whoever contemplates that vastness perceives that if the Creator keeps the sea in order, He also takes care of every detail of life. It is an invitation to rest, trust, and surrender what weighs. Their words are not mandatory. Often the simple act of remaining silent before nature is enough to feel the divine presence. The sea, with its strength and tranquility, becomes a living sermon about power and care. It is impossible not to feel small, yet at the same time deeply loved. For the chosen, the deserted beach becomes an open-air altar. There are no walls, no ceiling, but there is the certainty of being before a God who sees and hears. This environment expands the spiritual connection, allowing prayers to flow effortlessly, sincere and deep. Thoughts that once seemed jumbled find order. Doubts that seemed impossible to resolve find clarity. It is as if the mind, by freeing itself from the noise of the world, has space to hear the voice that has always been there, but was muffled by the excess of daily stimuli. The deserted beach is also a place of surrender. It is where the chosen can, without fear, open the heart and expose vulnerabilities. The sound of the sea becomes a consolation, reminding that there is no mistake or failure God cannot transform into learning and growth. The sunlight reflecting on the water creates a sense of renewal. Each sparkle dancing on the waves seems to carry a personal message, as if the Creator himself were reminding, "I am still here, and I continue to take care of you." It is impossible not to feel gratitude upon receiving such a message. On cloudy days, the experience does not lose value. The absence of the sun reveals other beauties: the gray sea, the stronger wind, the feeling of total isolation. It is on these days that many find the courage to face inner storms, trusting that just as the weather changes, life also transforms. At night, the deserted beach takes on an even more intimate aspect. The sound of the waves in the dark, the cold breeze and the starry sky create an almost celestial scene. It is as if the distance between heaven and earth were smaller, allowing deep conversations and unique moments of introspection. The chosen who frequents a deserted beach comes home different. The body relaxes, the mind clears, and the spirit strengthens. It is not only a matter of physical rest, but of inner realignment. It is like returning with the soul washed and the certainty that God spoke. This simple place, without luxury or bustle, carries an invaluable value for those who know how to perceive the divine presence. It proves that it is not the grand setting that makes the connection, but the willingness of the heart to listen. The deserted beach is, for the chosen, a living reminder that God reveals himself in simplicity and in silence. The shadow of the trees, the living refuge for the chosen. Entering a forest or walking beneath green canopies is like crossing a portal to another world. The sunlight filtered through the leaves creates unique patterns on the ground. The gentle wind, passing between the branches, produces a sound that resembles a whisper, as if nature itself were sharing ancient secrets. For the chosen, this is not merely a pleasant scene. It is a place where the heart rests and the soul finds shelter. Each tree, with its deep roots and sturdy trunk, tells a silent story of resilience and faithfulness. They remain steadfast, weathering strong winds and storms, without losing their essence. The shade they offer is not only physical, it is an invitation to lay aside haste, sit down, and simply exist. The body's pace slows, breathing becomes calmer, and the mind finds space to open to thoughts that were previously stifled by the noise of daily life. The trees teach, in a silent way, the importance of time. They do not rush their own growth, do not compete with each other, and do not despair in difficult seasons. The chosen, observing them, understands that their own process also requires patience and faith. Nothing needs to happen before the appointed time. Sitting under this shade is like receiving an invisible hug. The mild temperature, the smell of earth, and the sound of life around create an atmosphere of protection. It is as if every leaf formed a shield against the pressures of the world, allowing the soul to breathe again. In this place, the spiritual and the physical come together naturally. The body benefits from the pure air, while the spirit strengthens with the clarity that arises. There are no persistent distractions, only the present moment and the certainty that God is there, watching and caring. Some answers arrive as a sudden thought, others as a feeling of certainty in the heart. It is in this state of surrender that the chosen finds direction to keep walking, even when the next steps are not fully understood. The shadow of the trees becomes a place of alignment. With each visit, something new is perceived. It may be the curious shape of a leaf, the way two trunks intertwine, or the golden light of late afternoon painting everything around. These details are like reminders that God is in the details and reveals himself in unexpected ways. On hot days, the shade provides physical relief. On cold days, the shelter is more emotional and spiritual. The forest adapts to the needs of the arrival, always offering what is needed. The chosen realizes that creation reflects God's character, present, adaptable, and caring. Many important prayers are said there. There is no need for loud voices or grand gestures. Sometimes, simply closing the eyes and feeling the wind touch the face is enough to realize that one is not alone. The divine presence manifests in a gentle, yet undeniable way. Leaving this environment is like carrying a piece of it inside. The calm acquired beneath the trees remains, guiding decisions and quieting thoughts even after returning to routine. It is a kind of peace that is not found in crowded, noisy places. This green refuge is a constant reminder that life does not have to be lived in constant haste. Just as the trees grow in due time and bloom in the right season, the chosen is also on the right path, being shaped with patience and care by the Creator. Waterfalls and streams. The living worship of creation. The sound of a waterfall is unique. It is not a repetitive or predictable noise. Each drop of water creates its own rhythm, constant and renewed. For the chosen, standing before this spectacle is like watching a silent sermon, where nature itself speaks about strength, movement, and divine presence. The water descending with intensity recalls the power of God. It breaks rocks, opens paths in places where nothing seemed possible, and continues to flow without being contained. This image engraves in the heart of the chosen the certainty that, if the Creator moves waters with such authority, he can also transform any difficult situation. Touching the cold water is to feel more than a physical change. It is as if something invisible enters through the skin and reaches the heart. Worries, old wounds, and silent fears begin to dissolve. It is a process that requires no words, only the surrender of being there, present. Near a stream, time seems to slow down. The continuous course of the water teaches that life goes on, even when we do not see great changes. God is always at work, adjusting and moving like a current that never stops, day and night. This awareness brings calm and hope. The sound of the waters creates an environment conducive to deep prayers. There is no hurry or interruptions. It is as if the sound serves as a trail for dialogue with the Creator, helping to banish scattered thoughts and opening space for perceptions that rarely arise in daily routine. Many answers arrive unexpectedly in these moments. It is not uncommon for new ideas or old clarities to appear, while the chosen simply observes the movement of the water. Each drop seems to carry a silent message. I am here. I never stop. I never stop taking care of you. The power of the falls is impressive, but so is the delicacy with which the water spreads after touching the ground. It is as if it teaches that there is no opposition between power and gentleness. God is capable of acting with intensity, but also with tenderness, shaping as needed. Even after leaving the waterfall or the stream, the energy of this encounter accompanies the chosen. The memory of the sound and the sensation on the skin becomes an emotional and spiritual anchor for days of difficulty. Just close your eyes to mentally return to this natural sanctuary. The waters also carry a powerful symbolism. They wash, renew, move ceaselessly, and never lose their way. It is a constant reminder that even in the face of obstacles, the purpose God established for each life will continue to flow, finding alternatives when the path seems blocked. Many chosen ones keep memorable experiences in these settings. Some received clear guidance for important decisions, others found strength to forgive or courage to restart. It is as if creation had been designed to participate in these moments of restoration. When you stand before living waters, the body relaxes and the spirit rises. Breathing becomes deeper, and the mind is freed from excess. It is a perfect combination for dialogue with God to be truthful and barrier-free. The impact is not only in the landscape, but in how it speaks to the interior of those who are willing to listen. The waterfalls and streams not only fill the eyes, they touch the heart, reminding that life is movement and that there is always a next step. For the chosen, this type of encounter is never casual. Each visit to a waterfall or stream is a reminder that God remains present, always flowing, always renewing. It is an invitation to trust more, wait patiently, and stay in tune with the Creator's rhythm. A silent corner at home, the chosen one's personal sanctuary. Not always is the opportunity to travel or visit a special place within reach. The chosen one knows that the connection with God does not depend on distance traveled, but on the willingness to make room for His presence. Therefore, turning a corner of the home into a spiritual refuge becomes a valuable choice. This space does not need luxury or sophistication. It can be a simple armchair tucked near a window, a small table with an open Bible, and perhaps a lit candle. The important thing is not what you see, but what you feel when you enter there. It is the intention that makes the place special. When the chosen one enters this environment, something changes. He leaves behind external voices, closes the door to the room or living room, and symbolically closes the door to the world. There, the heart opens to hear the Creator's voice without distractions. Many choose to play soft music in the background, not to fill the silence, but to create an atmosphere of surrender. Others prefer the natural sound of the house, letting silence be the backdrop where God speaks. Each one shapes the environment according to what most facilitates communion. In this corner, prayer occurs effortlessly. It can be a silent cry, a deep thankfulness, or an urgent request. It is also the place to reflect on decisions, seek clarity, and lay down worries. Many answers arrive in this space without needing to rush the moment. The absence of distractions is essential. The cell phone is set aside, the television is off, and thoughts begin to slow down. Gradually, the environment fills with peace, and the body responds with slower breaths and a lighter posture. The chosen one realizes he does not need grand temples to experience the divine presence. A simple corner of the house, consecrated in prayer, becomes sacred ground. It is as if every time he enters there, he is received by an invisible, yet very real, embrace. This refuge also serves as a place of intercession. Many prayers for others are said there, strengthening not only the life of the one who prays, but also those who receive the blessings. It is as if the walls absorbed each supplication and every word of gratitude. Moments of Bible reading in this corner feel different. The text seems to come alive, revealing answers and encouragement that, at other times, would go unnoticed. It is as if the atmosphere fosters understanding and spiritual sensitivity. Even on the busiest days, spending a few minutes in this corner changes the rest of the day. Small pauses to pray or simply sit in silence restore the mind and realign the heart. It is not the length of time that matters, but the quality of surrender. This space is also a refuge against anxiety and fear. Whenever external pressure increases, the chosen one knows where to run. There, he finds the calm needed to remember that God is in control, regardless of what happens outside. Creating a quiet corner at home is a practical way of telling God, "I have a place reserved for us." This attitude by itself already expresses priority and love. It is a simple gesture, but it carries eternal meaning. The chosen one who cultivates this habit notices subtle changes in life. Reactions become more balanced, decisions more conscious, and faith stronger. The silent corner becomes an anchor, a place to return to whenever one needs to remember who he is and to whom he belongs. Mountains and high refuges, where the sky seems closer. There is something in the heights that moves the spirit in a special way. The chosen one realizes that climbing a mountain is not just about overcoming a physical challenge. It is like leaving behind fears, worries, and distractions. Each step represents a surrender, a letting go of what weighs you down and prevents looking up. As the ascent advances, the air becomes lighter and fresher. The body feels the effort, but the heart feels freedom. It is as if every meter conquered brings the Creator closer. The silence of the heights has its own sound, a mix of peace and reverence. The wind blowing on the face is not only refreshing, it carries sensations and invisible messages, as if each breeze were a gentle answer. It's a reminder that God is present in details as subtle as the touch of air on the skin. The mountains teach perseverance. Each difficult stretch, every pause to catch one's breath, shows that the path requires constancy. The chosen understands that life is like that too, sometimes tiring, but always rewarding for those who do not give up. At the top, prayer blends with awe. It is not necessary to speak much, just contemplate and let gratitude fill the heart. It is as if creation itself celebrated the meeting between man and the Creator in that moment. Often, in these high places, ideas arise, clarity emerges, and even strategies for important decisions form. The environment seems to open space for God to speak clearly. It is a dialogue that does not rush, for time there takes on another rhythm. The feeling of closeness to heaven is not merely figurative. There is something physical and spiritual in the act of being higher. It is as if the body is in one place and the soul touches invisible dimensions. This experience profoundly marks those who live it. Coming down the mountain is different from going up. The body returns tired, but the spirit returns light. There is more confidence, more peace, and a certainty that God is guiding each step. This trust accompanies the chosen one far beyond that day. The high refuges also remind us of the necessary isolation. There are moments in life when it is necessary to step back to see more clearly. Just as the view at the top is broad, distance from daily pressures brings clarity for important decisions. When returning to routine, the chosen one carries not only memories of the landscape, but also a renewed state of mind. It is like bringing inside oneself a piece of that peace from the heights. For all these reasons, these places continue to be sought generation after generation. It is not fashion, nor coincidence. It is the awareness that, up there, the heart finds something that on the ground is sometimes lost. The perspective of God. The mountains and high refuges thus become not only destinations, but milestones on the spiritual journey. Each visit is a different chapter of this walk with the Creator, a chapter that always ends with more faith and hope to keep climbing, in life and in spirit. Each of these places has something in common. They move the chosen one away from the noise and bring their soul closer to God. Whether in the sound of the waves, the whisper of the leaves, the flow of the water, the silence of a reserved corner, or the grandeur of the mountains, the result is always the same: clarity and peace. The deserted beach teaches surrender. Each wave touching the sand carries away what weighs and returns something new. It is a living reminder that God renews, even when we don't notice. There, the horizon becomes a promise that tomorrow can be lighter. In the shade of the trees, the heart learns to rest. The deep roots speak of steadiness in times of storm. Sitting beneath that green canopy is like finding a shelter that not only protects, but also inspires confidence to continue the path, even when answers are slow to come. The waterfalls and streams reveal movement. The water, always in flux, shows that life does not stop, and that God works continually, even when the eyes do not see. The touch of the cold water on the body seems to wash not only the skin, but also memories that no longer serve. The silent corner at home reminds that the divine presence does not require grand journeys. Just set aside a space, turn off the world, and open the heart. It is in this place that decisions are made, tears transform into strength, and silence fills with answers. And in the mountains, the lesson is perseverance and vision. Climbing requires effort, but what one sees from above compensates every step. It is a place where prayer and awe mingle, and where closeness to heaven becomes almost physical. Seeking these refuges does not mean fleeing the world. It is preparing to return to it with more strength, clarity, and purpose. Each moment spent there becomes fuel to face life's challenges with renewed faith. Perhaps you have already experienced one of these places. Perhaps you have felt the peace they offer and the impact that this connection brings to your life. Or perhaps you are now realizing that you need to find your space, your meeting point with God. The important thing is to know that the Creator is always ready to speak. He can use the force of the waters, the silence of the trees, the wind in the heights, or even a small corner in your home to touch your heart. The secret is to allow yourself to be present, without haste, without distractions. The journey of the chosen is not made only of struggles and challenges. It is also marked by moments of deep encounter, where the soul finds rest and the spirit finds direction. These places become milestones, memories that sustain faith when the path seems difficult. So, set aside time, choose your place, go to it with an open heart and a listening mind. Listen more than you speak, observe more than you question,
You will notice that in these encounters, God does not only speak, but also transforms. And now, I want to hear from you. Which of these places has been part of your journey? Where do you feel most able to hear God's voice? Share in the comments your experience. Your story may inspire other chosen ones to seek the same.